Marvel didn't just forget individual heroes. It forgot entire teams. Groups that once carried major storylines, challenged the Avengers, and reshaped corners of the Marvel Universe were quietly pushed aside. Some were victims of bad timing, others were abandoned after one failed run or crossover. But these teams weren't weak. They were unfinished ideas with massive potential Marvel never returned to. And today, most fans barely remember how important they once were. So, which forgotten Marvel teams deserve a comeback? Here are 10 forgotten Marvel teams that deserve another shot. At number 10 is Nextwave. While most Marvel teams strive for noble ideals, Nextwave was built on a foundation of pure, unadulterated chaos. Created by Warren Ellis and Stuart Immonen, this squad of C-list misfits, including Monica Rambeau, Machine Man, Elsa Bloodstone, Tabitha Smith, and the newcomer known as the Captain, originally served hate, highest anti-terrorism effort. However, upon discovering their employers were funded by the villainous Beyond Corporation, they went rogue to dismantle bizarre weapons of mass destruction. Despite their cult classic status, the team has been largely absent from the spotlight for years, leaving a void where their unique brand of lunacy once lived. Nextwave deserves a comeback because it perfected superhero satire long before the genre became a mainstream staple. It offered a technicolor blast of irreverent humor and hyper-violence that treated the Marvel Universe like an experimental playground. In an era of heavy-handed crossover events, a revival could provide the perfect tonal antidote. A series that prioritizes high-octane action and stylistic flair over dense editorial mandates. At number 9 is the 12. In the pantheon of forgotten Marvel squads, the 12 stand out as a haunting what if of the Golden Age. While the Avengers and X-Men defined modernity, this group of obscure 1940s mystery men, including the Phantom Reporter, Captain Wonder, and the original Black Widow, was cryogenically frozen by Nazis and rediscovered in the 21st century. Unlike other teams that return with punchy quips, the 12 offer a somber deconstruction of the hero myth. Their 2008 limited series by J. Michael Straczynski explored the trauma of displacement, showing heroes struggling with PTSD, obsolete social values, and the crushing realization that the world moved on without them. A comeback for the 12 wouldn't just be a nostalgia trip, it would provide a unique, grounded perspective on the Marvel Universe. In an era of multiversal chaos, a team defined by lost time and human frailty offers the perfect narrative foil to the shiny perfection of modern icons. At number 8 is the Clandestine. Ignore the Ms. Marvel TV version. The real Clandestine is a family of immortal British super beings created by Alan Davis in 1994. The Clandestine is a family of immortal British super beings who trace their lineage back to the 12th century. They are the offspring of Adam Destin, granted immortality by a clandestine encounter with a djinn named Elilith, and have spent centuries hiding in plain sight. Unlike the Avengers or X-Men, the Clandestine aren't motivated by heroism or civil rights. They are a family first, bound by blood and the burden of their extraordinary gifts. From the powerhouse Wallop to the energy-manipulating KC, their powers are as diverse as their long histories. Their inclusion in a forgotten teams list is essential because they offer a unique mythical urban fantasy tone that the current MCU and Marvel Comics landscape lacks. They provide a sophisticated blend of historical drama and superhero action. Bringing them back would allow Marvel to explore a more intimate, legacy-driven narrative that proves being super is often a complicated family business. Next, we trade ancient magic for reality TV stars, retro spies, and tragic teenagers fighting to survive the crushing weight of the mask. At number 7 is The Order. Created by Matt Fraction and Barry Kitson in 2007, The Order was California's official superhero team under the 50-state initiative. Unlike traditional teams, these heroes were former celebrities, socialites, and athletes who volunteered for a one-year tour of duty. They were granted temporary superpowers via a viral genomic process modeled after Greek deities, meaning their powers literally had an expiration date. Led by Henry Hellrung Anthem, a sober actor who once played Tony Stark on TV, and managed by Pepper Potts, the team explored the intersection of superheroics and celebrity culture. The Order stood out for its inclusivity and realism, featuring heroes with physical disabilities who used their tech-driven powers as accommodations. Bringing the order back would provide a perfect meta-commentary on today's influencer-driven society. Their unique ticking clock power dynamic and high-stakes PR struggles offer a refreshing departure from the usual world-ending threats, proving that being a hero is as much about maintaining a public image as it is about saving lives. At number 6 is the Agents of Atlas. We aren't talking about the modern team with Shang-Chi, we are talking about the original pulp fiction masterpiece retconned by Jeff Parker in 2006. The Agents of Atlas is Marvel's premier pulp fiction super team. Led by the eternal optimist Jimmy Woo, the roster is a glorious tribute to mid-century sci-fi, featuring Gorilla Man, M11, the human robot, the Olympian goddess Venus, and the Uranian. They are the ultimate hidden history team, operating within the shadow of the Atlas Foundation to turn a global criminal empire into a force for good. Their charm lies in their retro-futuristic aesthetic and the genuine chemistry of a group that feels like a family of misfits from a bygone era. A comeback for the Agents of Atlas would bridge the gap between Marvel's Golden Age roots and its modern cosmic scale. Whether tackling clandestine conspiracies or ancient mythological threats, they offer a suave, high-adventure alternative to traditional superheroics. Bringing them back would honor Marvel's legacy while providing the sophisticated, globe-trotting espionage the current lineup is missing. At number 5 is the Slingers. Born from the identity crisis era, the Slingers are a group of college students who inherited the 4 heroic personas Spider-Man briefly adopted while he was a fugitive. Under the mentorship of the mysterious Golden Age hero Black Marvel, Dusk, Hornet, Ricochet, and Prodigy don these magical and high-tech suits to prove that anyone can be a hero. What makes the Slingers a vital addition to a forgotten team's list is their legacy-driven narrative. They aren't just Spider-Man spin-offs, they are a study in the burden of wearing a mantle. Each member struggled with personal demons, from physical disabilities to social anxiety, using their costumes as both a shield and a source of empowerment. A comeback for the Slingers would perfectly tap into the current Spider-Verse popularity while staying grounded in the gritty reality of being a street-level hero. They offer a relatable, youthful energy that explores the messy transition from fan to phenomenon, proving that the suit doesn't make the hero. The heart inside does. At number 4 is the Loners. Introduced in the pages of Runaways and later headlining their own 2007 miniseries, the Loners, originally known as Excelsior, are Marvel's ultimate support group for retired teen heroes. Comprised of cult favorites like Darkhawk, Ricochet, Turbo, and Julie Power, the group's mission wasn't to fight crime, but to help one another quit the addiction of superheroics. They represent a deeply human, psychological corner of the Marvel Universe that is often overlooked. Instead of splashy battles, their stories focused on the trauma, identity crises, and the difficult transition into civilian adulthood. They are heroes trying to stay on the wagon, proving that sometimes the hardest battle isn't against a supervillain, but against the urge to put the mask back on. A comeback for the Loners would be the perfect tonal shift for a forgotten teams list. In a world now saturated with cinematic heroes, a gritty, character-driven series about the cost of being super would resonate more than ever. Our final trio dives deep into the darkness. Facing occult nightmares, immortal demigods, and secret wars, the Avengers are too afraid to fight. At number 3 is Legion of Monsters. First appearing in 1975, the Legion of Monsters is Marvel's premier sanctuary for the misunderstood and the macabre. This shifting assembly of horror icons, including Morbius the Living Vampire, Ghost Rider, Man-Thing, and Werewolf by Night, wasn't founded on a shared ideology, but on the simple, desperate need for survival in a world that fears them. They are the ultimate anti-team, representing the dark, gothic underbelly of a universe usually dominated by bright spandex and cosmic light. While the Avengers protect the surface, the Legion guards the monster metropolis deep beneath Manhattan, serving as both protectors and outcasts. A comeback for the Legion of Monsters would be timely, tapping into the rising popularity of supernatural noir. They offer a bridge between traditional horror and superhero action, exploring themes of monstrosity versus humanity. Bringing them back would allow Marvel to lean into atmospheric, edge-of-your-seat storytelling that proves even the most terrifying creatures can be the world's last line of defense. At number 2 is the Pantheon. Created by Peter David in 1990, the Pantheon is a secretive global strike force composed of the descendants of Agamemnon, a half-Asgardian, half-human demigod. Operating from the Mount, a high-tech fortress hidden within a Nevada mountain, the team members are named after Greek legends like Ajax, Atalanta, and Hector, each possessing unique powers and vastly slowed aging. The Pantheon is most famous for its 1990s alliance with the Professor Hulk, who eventually became the team's leader. They aren't traditional superheroes. They act as a proactive think tank, intervening in international conflicts and scientific disasters to guide humanity's future. A comeback for the Pantheon would provide a sophisticated geopolitical perspective on the Marvel Universe. Their blend of mythological themes, advanced technology, and high-stakes diplomacy offers a complex narrative tone that feels more like a thriller than a standard comic. Bringing them back would allow Marvel to explore the gray areas of heroism through a dysfunctional, immortal family that believes they know what's best for the world. At number 1 is Secret Warriors. Created by Brian Michael Bendis and Jonathan Hickman during the Secret Invasion era, the Secret Warriors are the ultimate manifestation of Nick Fury's Caterpillar Files. This team of hidden legacy heroes, including Quake, Phobos, and Yo-Yo Rodriguez, was composed entirely of the unknown offspring of gods and villains, specifically chosen because they weren't on any government radar. They represent the high-stakes world of superhuman espionage. Unlike the public-facing Avengers, the Secret Warriors operated in the deepest shadows, dismantling Hydra from the inside through sleeper cells and brutal tactical maneuvers. They weren't just a team, they were a long con gambit played by the world's greatest spy. A comeback for the Secret Warriors would provide a gritty, political thriller tone that is often missing from modern caped heroics. Their narrative explores the heavy toll of secrecy and the moral ambiguity of doing whatever it takes. They prove that the most important wars aren't fought in the sky, but in the dark. Comment down below. Which of these forgotten legends do you want to see back in action? Press the subscribe button and bell icon for regular updates.